Okay, today I'm installing a screensaver on a tablet, one of my kids' tablets, and the screensaver came without instructions. So, I got all this stuff and I'm thinking, well, what do you got to do to put this on? I put one of these on before, but I've learned a few lessons because I've done a few of these. So, I wanted to pass those along to you. Now, first of all, uh, I'm doing this outside of my workplace, and I did it because I could set up the scene and everything, and have the camera on that side while I'm on this side, which is best for me. Uh, First of all, if you're going to work on one of these things, you want to kind of have it parallel to you like this. And here's the screensaver. If you'll notice, the screensaver has it's a hard plastic screensaver. It's rigid. It has a plastic tab here because there's an adhesive part underneath here which has to be peeled off. The trick is that you have to get it registered with the holes that are on the tablet, just like this. Okay, so that you can touch the on-off button. And this one actually fits the entire front of the screen. If it didn't, you'd likely register it with this hole here, and then there's usually like a cutout somewhere up here. This one has a cutout. I'm not sure what that's for. It must be a generic screensaver because uh, sometimes you'll get very specific ones per the model. This is for a Samsung Galaxy tab, so but it does fit the screen, so I'm not having a problem with that. So if you notice, the peel part is on top. The peel actually has to be underneath for it to stick and peel to the screen. Now, there's a lot of environmental fallout, on the phone. So the first order of business is I have to clean it off. Now, they gave me two wipes, wet and dry wipe. I'm assuming the wet wipe is so I can wipe fingerprints off because this screensaver does have some fingerprints on here because I've handled it. When you handle the screensaver after you've wiped it off, you want to handle it by the edges like I am. But the first order of business is to make sure that your hands are clean. You can wash your hands, but what I do is I'll normally just get some of this hand wash just before I do this because this has a little bit of alcohol in it. And I'll just kind of, wash my hands off real good, make sure they're dry, and we're ready to go. Okay, so now I've got this piece of plastic here. What I have to do is I have to make sure that the piece, well, the piece that's going to stick on the screen is automatically going to be clean because I'm going to peel the plastic off of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the piece underneath here off so that there's no dust that will transfer onto the screen, and then I'm going to clean the screen off. I'm assuming I would use the wet towel for this. Now these towels are really cheap, but you got to figure if this kit didn't have instructions with it, this little towel here is going to be really cheap. So what you need to do is get a little chamois from a lens cleaning kit and use that instead because that's going to really do the number on this. Okay, so I do have the screen cleaner. Okay, and you obviously want to make sure it's dry before you actually go to try to adhere something to it, and just try to get off any fingerprints that might be on here and obviously the dust. Okay, here's this. Now the biggest factor is the dust because you don't want to get any little pieces of dust under here that are going to that are going to sandwich between the screensaver and the screen itself. So to control the dust, and yes, I'm going to do this part too. I put a piece of cardboard on here because this table is not the cleanest table. I use this as a work table. I machine parts out of this location here, so the table's not as clean as it possibly can be. And I'm doing it this way because I have all my tools here, but it's also a good way to for you to learn because if you can do it in a dirty environment like this, you can do this anywhere. I don't know where you're going to be doing your installation, but it's likely, unless it's a class 100 clean room, which has one, part per 100, uh, and you have a clean, you have a complete jumper on, you're not going to have a completely sanitary environment to do the phone. So that's why you do it. Now, there's a little bit of dust on the screen here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of grab the dust with some tape. Okay, making sure that it's completely free of dust before before I actually lay the screensaver on top of there, so nothing is sandwiched in here. All right, my battery went away and I had to recharge the phone. So now I've got everything laid out, I've got everything wiped off, okay? The next thing you do is when you handle the screensaver, you have to handle it by the edges so you don't get any fingerprints on here. And I do see some fingerprints. That's because it's on the other side. Okay, and I'm going to wipe that side off. Just wanted to make sure I got the dust off of this thing too. Now, you want to try to catch a reflective part of this so that you can see if there's any dust on here. So, you just kind of want to reflect a light or something in the screensaver itself so that you're not going to sandwich any dust between this and the phone. Okay, so with that done, I'm going to place this on here. Now, when you place it on there, you want to make sure that you have the right end at the right end. This is the right end because that's where the button is, and there's a hole here, as you can see. And you want to get an edge to edge if it's an edge to edge type of a screen setup, okay? So now they gave me this. Now, they also did give me a dust absorber, which I'm assuming is what I was supposed to use to pick up the pieces of dust, which I already did with the tape anyway. The tape was clean because it's a brand new roll of tape. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little stickers here, okay, and I'm going to put them on the edge so that they register with the edge. Notice that the peel part is right here, okay. Put them right on the edge. Got to lift it up for that, okay. Put it right on the edge, and just make sure that everything is registered. Everything's where it's supposed to be. This is going to align it to where it's at its final place. So, just kind of go like this. Okay, so now I have these on here. They act like hinges so that you can, take this up, peel the piece off, and then stick it on there, which is what I'm going to do next. Okay, so now you just kind of flip this guy over. The plastic comes off. And then you just kind of place it on top of the phone. Now notice, I've been doing a little bit of talking, so there's a little bit of spray. Just make sure you don't have any liquid under there. What you want to do here is, now sometimes they'll give you a little squeegee to do this with, but they didn't even give me that with this kit. So you just got to kind of make do. If you have like a little plastic squeegee, that'd be great. Make sure it's something that's not going to scratch the screensaver. You want to just kind of get it edge to edge. Now there are going to be some bubbles here after you do this, but the bubbles will eventually work out. Yep. And you know what? I didn't quite get it on here right. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to peel it up, and I'm going to have to get it right on there perfect. And you can do that at first, but there's a point to where you won't be able to do that. There we go. And that should have, yeah, it looks like it didn't quite register right. Okay. Okay, so now, yeah, now I can press that button. Okay, so now just got to get the bubbles out. And you kind of want to push the bubbles out. if you can. Ah, there we go. Everything's good. Okay, so now it's all perfect. Okay, so the last part is you peel these guys off of here. And you're good to go. We get this last part off of here, and it's all good to go. This got sent out to the factory where the screen was cracked on it. That's why I'm putting a plastic screensaver on here. My kids aren't too responsible, so anyway, so everything's on there, and it's good to go. So thanks for watching the video.